Use the right tool and keep it sharpened. There is absolutely no such thing as stagnation. You will never again be as you are this very moment. We live in the residual of our past choices, whether it was 10 minutes or 10 years ago. All of our past choices accumulate to equal what we are right now. If you do not create, you will disintegrate. You need to create the body you want to have in the future, or it will continue to disintegrate. Creating needs tools. In order to create, you need the correct tools for the job and to keep them sharp. In the case of body fat loss, you need information, real information, about how and why you are gaining body fat and how to lose it. Hello, my name is Melissa Preston, and I am the author of the book, The Big Secret, The Secret to Body Fat Loss and Long-Term Control. Let's take a look at how important it is to use the right tool for the job. Once upon a time, not very long ago, on a crisp fall morning, the men in a small village were out gathering the wood for the winter months. Paul, who was a local blacksmith, walked into the backwoods and down the usual path. Not far down the path he came across Tom. Tom was a rather large man who came from a family of lumberjacks. His father, grandfather, and so on were considered some of the best lumberjacks in the business. Paul watched as Tom and his 5-year-old son struggled to bring down one of the largest trees in the area with a 2-man saw. The 5-year-old was being pulled and tossed as the teeth of the saw caught and loosed in the tree. Paul himself was worn down, his large stature shrinking with fatigue. Paul called out a good morning and suggested that Tom come down to his shop and buy a saw for one and pick a smaller tree. Tom looked at him and simply said that his family had always used this type of saw. It was the way it has always been. Paul started to explain the benefits of a one-person saw. However, Tom just kept going on and on and on about tradition. Further down the path he came across Mike. Mike was struggling to bring down a tree with a sledgehammer. He had sweat rolling down his back. He was exhausted and in a great deal of pain. He kept swinging away, his arms drooping from wear and moaning in pain. After a few minutes of watching Mike, Paul called out a good morning and offered to sell Mike an axe. He explained all the benefits that an axe would have over a sledgehammer. However, Mike simply said that he could not afford an axe. Paul knew that Mike had recently had financial setbacks and offered to take small payments over time. However, Mike just repeated that he could not afford it. Once again, Paul went about his way. Still further down the path, Paul came across Sam. Sam was also struggling to down a tree. Paul once again stopped to watch. He noticed that Sam had chosen an axe, the right tool for the job, and a manageable-sized tree. Paul couldn't help but wonder why Sam was struggling so hard to bring down that tree. Paul once again called out a good morning, and after inspecting the axe, Paul noted how dull it was. Paul offered to take the axe back to the shop and sharpen it for him. However, Sam didn't have time. He said that it would just take too long. He had other things to do. Paul tried to explain that it wouldn't take long at all. However, Sam just didn't have time. Once again, Paul went about his way and walked off. Paul found a reasonable-sized tree and set to work. He took out a well-sharpened axe, and in just a few hours his cart was loaded with wood, and he was on his way out. As he passed the other men, he bid them good day. When we read this story, it is easy to chuckle at Tom, Mike, and Sam. After all, we all know we should use the right tool for the job and to keep them sharp. However, there is a lot of truth to this story. It is easy to see that Tom's traditional lumberjacking saw is the best tool for two full-grown men. However, it is not the correct tool for a father-son team. Mike's insistence that a few dollars for an axe is too expensive. However, this choice will cost him days of missing work. He would have made the money back within an hour or two of work. As for Sam, well, he's going to spend a lot more time cutting down that tree with a dull axe than if he would take it to have it sharpened. We often use the wrong or dull tools because that is what we have been educated to do. We often use the tools given to us by media, our culture, parents, school, church, friends, peers, that are the wrong or dull tools, and we accept this. We have been educated not to question authority or the experts, to follow traditions, and to fit in with our peers. It is easy to see that Paul was the real expert and was trying to educate his peers and to have a positive impact on them. When you are ready, the correct tools for the job, I will be here.